Welcome to Middle Ground Media, where news is delivered without an agenda. In today's coverage, Segment 1, Russia's LGBT extremism convictions. In a landmark move, Russia's Supreme Court has escalated its clampdown on expressions of sexual orientation and gender identity by banning the LGBT movement, marking a continuation of the country's tightening restrictions. This decision led to the first convictions under the new extremism laws, sparking a global debate on human rights and freedom of expression. In separate incidents, individuals faced legal repercussions for merely displaying symbols associated with LGBTQ+ identity, highlighting the severe implications of the ban. These actions underscore the growing challenges faced by the LGBTQ+ community in Russia, and raise concerns about the broader impact on global human rights standards. Segment 2, Lewis Hamilton's historic move to Ferrari. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the world of Formula One, seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton announced his departure from Mercedes to join Ferrari next year. This unexpected move not only marks a significant shift in Hamilton's illustrious career, but also promises to ignite a thrilling new chapter in the rivalry between two of the sport's most storied teams. Hamilton's decision to activate a release clause in his contract for a multi-year deal with Ferrari has fans eagerly anticipating the impact on the racing landscape and the pursuit of a record-breaking 8th championship. Segment 3, EU Summit and Farmers' Protests. The European Union's headquarters became the epicenter of chaos as hundreds of farmers, driving heavy-duty tractors, converged to demand relief from rising prices and bureaucratic hurdles. This dramatic protest, marked by clashes with security forces, underscores the deepening crisis within the agricultural sector, exacerbated by geopolitical tensions and environmental challenges. The farmers' actions forced their way onto the agenda of an EU summit, highlighting the critical intersection of agricultural policy and broader political dynamics within the EU, especially in the lead-up to parliamentary elections. Segment 4, Canadian inquiry into Iranian influence. Canada's public inquiry into foreign interference has taken a significant turn with the Conservative Party's formal request to investigate Iranian influence within the country. This move reflects growing concerns over Iran's alleged campaign of intimidation and interference, highlighting the complex web of international relations and the challenges of safeguarding democratic processes. The inquiry's focus on Iranian actions underscores the broader geopolitical tensions and the importance of transparency and accountability in addressing foreign interference. Segment 5, UN report on rising terrorism threats. A recent UN report has highlighted the persistent and evolving threat posed by terrorist groups such as Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, particularly in conflict zones in Africa and Afghanistan. The report's findings indicate a close relationship between Afghanistan's Taliban rulers and Al-Qaeda, alongside a worrying capability of these groups to project power regionally and potentially globally. This alarming assessment calls for renewed international focus on counter-terrorism efforts and the complex dynamics of global security in the face of ideological extremism. Segment 6, CIA hacker Joshua Schultz sentencing. Joshua Schultz, a former CIA officer, has been sentenced to 40 years in prison in a case that has captivated public attention. Schultz's conviction for leaking classified hacking tools to WikiLeaks, alongside charges of possessing child abuse images, represents one of the most significant breaches in CIA history. This case raises critical questions about national security, the protection of classified information, and the ethical responsibilities of intelligence personnel, highlighting the delicate balance between transparency and security in the digital age. Segment 7, Michigan school shooter's parents on trial. In an unprecedented legal proceeding, Jennifer Crumbley stands trial for her alleged role in failing to prevent her son's deadly school shooting in Michigan. This case marks the first time a parent has been tried in connection with a child's mass shooting, setting a potential legal precedent for parental responsibility and gun ownership. The trial's outcome could have far-reaching implications for how society addresses the root causes of gun violence and the responsibilities of those who have access to firearms. Segment 8, US approves strikes on Iranian targets. In response to a drone attack that killed 3 US soldiers, the US has approved plans for a series of strikes on Iranian targets in Syria and Iraq. This decision, aimed at retaliating against Iranian-backed militia groups, underscores the escalating tensions between the US and Iran and the complex web of regional and international relations. The strategic choice to target Iranian influences outside of Iran's borders reflects a cautious approach to military engagement, aiming to avoid broader conflict while asserting US resolve in the face of aggression. Segment 9: Nairobi Gas Explosion Tragedy. A devastating gas explosion in Nairobi, Kenya, has resulted in at least 2 deaths and hundreds of injuries, highlighting the dangers associated with industrial accidents and the urgent need for stringent safety measures. The blast, occurring at a plant involved in refilling gas cylinders, has caused widespread damage and raised serious questions about regulatory oversight and emergency preparedness. This tragic incident serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of safety standards in protecting communities from the potentially catastrophic consequences of industrial operations. Thank you for tuning into Middle Ground Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbiased news. Join us again tomorrow for your daily dose of truth and clarity.